17 minutes past 7 is the time. Now, the parents of Natasha Ednan-Laperouse, who died after suffering an allergic reaction to a pret-a-manger baguette, are calling for better education on how to best deal with severe reactions and life-threatening situations.
The UK has some of the highest rates of allergic conditions in the world, with more than 20% of the population affected by one or more allergic disorder. Hospital admissions for extreme reactions more than doubled in the 20 years between 2002 and 2022, with admissions increasing from more than 12,000 to almost 20,000. And since 1992, 187 people have died in the UK from a severe allergic reaction to food.
Now, one of those 187 people is Celia Marsh. Celia had a known allergy to milk, but was sold an item of food that was deemed to be safe. Our reporter Jenny Kumar has been to meet her family.
Mum's death, like so many other allergy deaths, was entirely avoidable. We need better testing, better labelling and better healthcare to prevent other families having to carry the grief that we will always hold. Enough is enough. Thank you.
Moving forward. A year on from speaking after the inquest into her mother's death, Ashley is raising money for an allergy charity and training to run her first half marathon in Bath, the city where her mother died.
I wanted to challenge myself, and I think it's a good way to keep my mum's name alive.
What would your mum think?
I think she'd think I was crazy, but I think she would be really proud.
Celia Marsh had a severe dairy allergy. She was on a post-Christmas shopping trip in 2017 and bought what she thought was a dairy-free vegan wrap from a pret-a-manger in Bath. Shortly afterwards, she was struggling to breathe and collapsed in the street. She later died in hospital.
She had 5 girls, so she had her hands full, but she was just lovely. She was loving and caring, always there for you when you needed her. She was quite into her fitness. She dragged me along to spinning classes, and that's when I started my fitness journey. She was one of them people that if you were just stood in a line at a shop, she'd make friends. Yeah, just such a lovely, caring person.
This is the kind of sandwich Celia Marsh bought. The coroner found that the yoghurt inside it contained an ingredient called HG1 and that this had become contaminated with dairy on the production line. The inquest heard that the former UK manufacturer of the yoghurt, Planet Coconut, had in its possession documents that flagged this risk, but it was not passed on to customers. Pret-a-Manger said it would never have used the yoghurt if they had known it may have contained dairy. The food chain said it had taken significant steps forward with its suppliers and labelling policies since 2017. How worried are you that another family could experience a tragedy like you have?
I'm quite worried there hasn't been change already, because I worry that someone is going to, unfortunately, experience the same as what happened to my mum, and that is very worrying.
The Food Standards Agency say following the coroner's report into Celia Marsh's death, they have updated their guidance so that vegan products can use may contain statements if there's a risk of contamination with allergens such as fish, milk and eggs. But the family want more of the coroner's recommendations to be acted on, including better testing and quality control of products claiming to be free from allergens. Ashley's determined to keep campaigning for further change, so other families won't face the same tragedy as hers. Jenny Kumar, BBC News, Wiltshire.
Well, our thanks, obviously, to that family for sharing their story. You can see on the sofa with us this morning, we're joined by Tanya and Nadim. Ednan-Laperouse, whose daughter Natasha died in 2016 from a severe allergic reaction. Very good morning to both of you. This is another family going through what you went through. And I know you mentioned a moment ago you were at this inquest as well. I mean, it must be so hard for those families, but important to hear the evidence and get some answers to questions.
That's right. That's what often people need, that for closure. They need to have the answers why it happened. Because with food allergies, quite often people don't expect the worst to happen. We know that the numbers of food allergies have been going up. That's something that more and more people are talking about now. But we also we know that when that worst outcome happens, it's because usually of cross-contamination or something that accidentally was ingested, and getting those answers as to why that happened is so important.
Nadim, your lives have completely changed, of course. The loss of a child is unbearable. I can't imagine. But what you have done since to campaign for more awareness has been incredible in Natasha's name. And you touched upon this, Tanya, that not enough people are aware of what to do with allergic reactions. And when Natasha had her reaction, you had, and now we're not calling them EpiPens, the AAI, the auto adrenaline injectors, with you. And so often now, people don't carry them, even though there are more people with allergies.
That's right. So what's really happening in the world, in the Western countries of the world, is people are becoming more and more allergic. And in the UK, it's actually quite acute. In the UK, we have a very high level of allergies. A number of people have serious allergies in particular, not just to food, but it can also be to venom or insect bites and even medicines. And there's never been a time that's more important than now that the people really understand why it's so important, if they have serious allergies, to always carry 2 adrenaline pens with them wherever they go. And the reason we bring this up is because research showed that a lot of people, about a quarter of the people with serious allergies, don't do that. And in fact, it's really the first line of defense to potentially save your life. And nothing is more sacrosanct than, certainly for young people, young lives.
And it's also a message to parents as well, because if their children, we're seeing more allergies recognised at least, it's a message to parents to make sure that this is just part of that kit, they're carrying massive bags with them and all that stuff, to have it as part of the kit as well.
That's right. It's part of a campaign. It's called Ready to React UK campaign, and it really is, it's just very simple messaging. If you have serious allergies and you have been prescribed adrenaline injector pens, you carry 2 wherever you go, whether you're in school, whether you're at work, at the gym, at the cinema, and in a restaurant, wherever you go, you take them with you. You have to know that they are in date because they have expiry dates. And so you need to know when that date is and make sure that you actually get new pens in time before they expire. And you have to always have them with you. That's the thing.
It's slightly confounding in a way, isn't it? Because you're clearly talking about people who have gone to the trouble of finding out about an allergy, and they've maybe had a diagnosis, and yet don't follow on with what is the thing that could potentially save your life. There's a gap there, which is curious in a way. It's like you take on the information, but then don't act upon it.
It is a really interesting sort of human behaviour subject, actually. But it's. I think people just don't realise, a lot of people, just how rapidly a situation around serious allergy gets out of hand, and something called anaphylaxis takes hold in a matter of minutes, where you have difficulty in breathing and you can fall unconscious. And if you fall unconscious, then you can't help yourself anymore. And it's really important for people to realise that can be an outcome. It's a potential outcome, and not to feel too comfortable that it will never go that far.
I think that's the trick, feeling too comfortable. Because when someone finds out they have an allergy, and it can be serious, they're aware of the consequences. But because they've then found out about the allergy, they think, okay, well, I avoid this, I avoid that, I know what I'm doing. But then, as in Natasha's case, as in this case we saw in the report, if it's the unexpected, you can be as diligent as you like and vigilant about looking at food ingredients, but I think it's about, we can't be 100% certain of what we're eating or ingesting.
I make an analogy. When we get in a car, we put a seatbelt on. It's absolutely now automatic behaviour. That's exactly how it should be for people who have serious allergies. Take your 2 adrenaline pens with you wherever you go. They need to be close at hand, not at home while you're at the gym. They need to be with you in the gym, at school, in the restaurant.
You also need to know how to use them. Sorry, that's the other thing that's really important. It's surprising how many people actually, they're not shown, they're not told, but they can go onto the brand of the Injector Pens website. There are videos, and they can get practice pens. Because people are so scared of using them, and there's nothing scary about them.
A practice pen means literally you do what you need to do,
but there's
without it.
No needle.
Yes, and that's there's nothing like practice endear good behaviour, if you like, because it becomes an automatic, reaction of what to do. You know what to do without having to think, and that's really important. Practice makes perfect, and if that saves lives, which it surely will, then that's really worth that extra effort in doing that. And I think it's really important, as we see through the national charity that we run, Natasha Allergy Research Foundation, just how shockingly impacted families are when they lose their children again and again in the UK. And much of those, the truth is, those stories are so terrible to recount, but often we hear that they didn't have their adrenaline pens with them, and that was potentially a contributing factor, and that's terrible when it's easily remedied, really. And the Ready to React campaign aims to try and bring that awareness.
Well, I know your campaigns in the past have been very successful in changing things, so here's hoping the same thing happens again. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.